Cleveland Clinic, Florida provides individualized treatment plans for excellent outcomes of health problems ranging from the most common to the most complex, even in cases considered untreatable by others. Cleveland Clinic, Florida. Every life deserves world-class care.
What's up? Happy Tuesday. It is KVJ after the show podcast. Yeah. What's up? Okay, I'll do it. Got some interesting stories that are out there today. I got one still talking a little bit about all the people that went into rescuing those kids from the flooded cave in Thailand.
Was it 12 kids in there?
Something like that. And a coach.
1 little, 2 little, 3 little. Yeah, I think there's 12 of them.
It's a lot.
Yeah, it was a lot. Yeah, and got them all out earlier. They say over 1,000 people from around the world were involved with the rescue operation.
I saw your boy, you had brought him up yesterday. I thought they said he invented the sub thing and that they were really trying to use it.
Yeah, did they get it there in time? Is that what they used? Or did they do another, hook a kid to a leash and have a real diver drag him through the underwater cave? I don't know how they...
I think they did a leash and drag.
They did? Okay.
Yeah, from what I was watching on TV. CBS was the first in the cave. And so
Yeah.
they were putting their video on this morning.
Because Muskie's tube didn't look like it was very flexible. And if you're talking about a cave with lots of bends and twists, that might be kind of hard to get through because it looked like, the cave kind of formed, imagine a W, the middle part of the W. Like that was kind of like the rock formation they're trying to get the kids over. So you had to go like under flooded cave up over that. So
Back in the flood.
Imagine trying to get a hard metallic tube that is 5 feet long up through that. Who knows that you're going to have 5 feet of clearance in any one place?
Yeah, thanks, but no thanks, Elon. We're going to figure this one out with the leash and pulley method.
Yeah.
Got to go old school sometimes.
Sometimes you do.
Thanks, Elon. Appreciate it. You know what? If we want to launch one of these bastards up into space, we'll let you know.
Yeah,
You should launch the coach into space.
if we want to launch that fucker to the moon, we'll call you.
Yeah. Otherwise, just keep to your freaking exploding cars. Thanks. People are already talking about exactly who's going to be in this Thailand cave rescue movie.
Oh, yeah, they're going to make a movie.
Who are we going to get to play it? Well, let's see. Thailand.
Let the kids play themselves.
They've earned it.
They've earned it, and they went through it. So.
Does that ever work? Have they ever done that?
They
Where they've
have.
had one of those movies?
They've-
What was the movie? There was some movie. Oh, it was the one about the train heroes. They remember that?
Yes.
Yeah, those guys got to play themselves. They're the ones that stopped that terrorist attack on that train.
That's awesome.
Good.
Yeah,
Good.
they got to play
should.
themselves.
They should get a movie deal out of it and get some cash grab.
Yeah. Yeah, but they're like, well, yeah, but you got to get it. We need a token Asian because that's just it. We need box office pull. We just...
Well, your girl Scarlett Johansson's in hot water now, and I forget exactly what the situation was. She's playing
Transgender.
Okay, is that what's going on? Okay, and they're like,
Yeah.
well, how come the clapback is we'll have a transgender actor or actress play?
She had the last one because she did the Ghost in the Shell, and that apparently I think was supposed to be of some Asian ethnicity in that character, and she played that, and they're like, "Oh, this should have gone to an Asian actress. Why are you doing this role?" And
People clap back on Twitter, Virginia.
Yeah.
I can't take the clapping.
Very
My
big on
ears
it.
hurt.
I would say this: everyone does know that acting's pretend, and you pretend that you're somebody you're not. I was just wondering if that's what acting still was.
And casting is free enterprise. You're allowed to cast who you want.
Yeah, if you write a movie
Yeah.
and you're involved in it and you're producing it and you are an actor and you get paid to pretend to be other people, I don't have a problem with it.
yeah, I think what it is that they're trying to keep an eye on is making sure that there are opportunities for all people in acting.
And I agree, there should be.
Mm-hmm. And, you should, but it shouldn't be every single role is so scrutinized. They should ultimately, if you're creating a project, you should be able to get whoever you think is the best for that project. And
you do that in any business. You hire whoever you think is best to work for you.
Hopefully we get to a place where you assume and you trust that everyone is acting in good faith and there's no bias about gender, race, ethnicity.
Yeah, my point
that goes into why you made your decision.
My point isn't that people should have equal opportunity. Of course they should for all kind of acting roles. But if somebody creates something and they want X, Y, and Z to play X, Y, and Z, and they're in charge of doing that, and they should be able to do that.
EJ in one of our chat rooms said, and by the way, those heroes on that train movie, they were horrible actors. They couldn't even make it to the train scene. So
that's funny.
Yeah. So anyway, that's kind of it. Yeah, somebody said, too, in a text that if you guys want to talk about people playing ethnic roles, look up the time John Wayne played an Asian.
Oh, my gosh.
That to me that's where Hollywood was once upon a time when, especially, American culture was completely dominated by whites that, it was ridiculous that white men would play every single role. They would play women a lot of times, especially if you go back to Shakespearean plays. It was men playing the roles of women. They were dressed up like that. And so we started there, and we're moving. And I think that's just it, is we're trying to keep everything moving exactly where it needs to be. But it would be nice, like I said, that we got into a time and place where you wouldn't question anybody.
Well, I think now you're seeing diversity without a doubt. And that's a great thing. It's an awesome thing. Yeah, I made my point 9 times.
You did.
I believe it was 10.
Yeah, but that is kind of it. Everybody is, trying to
bring somebody down on social media.
Yeah, it is. It is.
I'm not trying to bring Kevin down, but I am trying to bring his hair down. It's got a little too big for his britches.
It's a bouffant. He can't help it.
And for Metal Beard Dan, I said Elon Musk is just trying to help these kids, and everyone's ripping on him. I'm just kidding.
Elon will be okay.
Yeah.
Elon's okay as he's laying on his $1 million bill.
I love Elon Musk.
Oh, you definitely
do.
love.
Yeah,
You're
I
a
do.
musketeer.
You have a man boner for him.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Is he in your top 10?
What,
Top
for
10
ma-
of
man boners?
what category are you
guys
talking
that give
about?
you a man bone. Just for success,
yeah, it's
power,
like-
and guys I'd want to be.
Because you make it sound sexual when you're talking about man boner, but that's a different category. Guys that I find hot and hairless is a different category than.
But guys you look up to that you have a man crush because you respect them and you kind of in a sense want to be like them.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, Elon Musk, I would say, probably for his ingenuity and his brain and everything else, I'd say, probably top 3. I mean, he's definitely up there. His innovation is impressive, and all the projects that he does and the creativity he has, absolutely. It's fantastic.
I think you have a better face. His face is kind of creepy.
Well,
But you know what? He's come a long way. Did you see him back in his nerdy days when he was just before he started to make money?
Did he have plastic surgery?
No, I don't think so. But I mean, money makes everybody look better.
You're right about that.
It just does. It looks a lot better.
Remember you were saying that George Clooney's accident wasn't that bad?
Somebody had texted that in. I didn't know.
It was bad. He was doing 60 miles an hour when a car suddenly pulled in front of him. He was thrown, and his helmet struck the car's windshield, causing it to shatter. Thrown 60 feet. That's a lot.
could you imagine getting into a car accident with George Clooney? You're probably, what the shit is this?
Thrown 20 feet. I'm sorry. Going 60 miles an hour, thrown 20 feet.
And I have a feeling it was in slow motion.
Like in a movie. Oh, it'd be great for the impact if it was.
Mm-hmm.
Dang. Thrown 20 feet.
Who knew them little scooters could get up to 60 miles an hour? Was he going downhill?
I don't know. He must have been. Yeah, 60 miles an hour.
Wow, you have, I don't know what, your voices and misconnections were amazing today. Your
Yeah.
motorcycle mouth is
I'm on it
awesome.
today. I'm on it today. I overslept, that's why.
There you go.
Well rested.
Let that brain marinate.
Yeah, that's what it is. Got an email from Kim, said, hey, Kev, heard Virginia saying today when you go to the drive-in movies, you got to put that speaker box in the window. That's of the past. Now you just tune your radio to the station they have. It's that little low frequency FM band that goes like 300 yards or whatever.
Yeah.
And you listen to the movie. It's so much fun. You bring all the beer you want, snacks. Best way to watch a movie, $7 a person. That is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Especially if you have like a cool vehicle to do it in. I think one of the last times, probably the last time I went to a drive-in movie, they had them in California, which makes sense. Good climate. It doesn't rain in California for like 8 months straight.
It's a song.
It is. It never rains in Southern California.
Really?
It's my fucking jam. Albert Hammond Jr. or Albert Hammond. Oh, such a great song.
Albert Hammond?
Hammond.
Like if he partnered up with Cheese, it would be
Albert Hammond.
Okay, Hammond.
Google it, kids. Google it, and if kids are listening to this, turn the fucking radio off.
Yeah. Yeah. So in California, where I was, at least when I was there, and this is mid '90s, but yeah, they had some drive-ins, and it made sense. All over the place, and it was kind of cool. When we had a deal, I think we were in the back of like a pickup truck, but it was like it had lawn chairs and stuff like that. Had a cooler there. I think somebody brought a grill. I was like, oh, this is kind of badass. That was the way to do it. It was actually a ton of fun. If you did it right like that, good deal. Go for it. Ashley sent an email, said, hey, Goliath on Amazon Prime. Video is awesome. Season 1 was great. Season 2 was meh. Not sure what happened, but don't waste your time on Season 2. But, sometimes those shows are good. Like I said, that's just it. I would really respect a guide, as far as I've talked about this countless times. And one of these days, maybe if I got off my ass, I would do it. Maybe somebody already has. But it's like shows and when to watch, when to get out. Because and I feel bad because I was so hype on Bloodline. The first 2 seasons I loved, and the 3rd season was such garbage. I don't think I would even recommend it to anybody anymore. Because Season 2 leaves you where you need a conclusion. And then their conclusion sucks. You know what I'm saying?
So stay in Season 2 and write your own conclusion.
Gosh, yeah. It's like if there was ever, that'd be a great topic. Like movies and TV shows that completely need an ending reboot.
Sopranos, for a lot of people, they'd say that ending pissed off so many people. And I'd watched The Sopranos twice, and I'm not a big fan of when they are like, you make up the ending.
You decide.
You decide. No, I don't want to fucking play Mad Libs. Spell it out for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I need resolution.
Yeah, you want that.
I do.
Otherwise, I'll just write my own damn story.
Yeah, because in my mind, then Tony's not dead and he's running shit still.
Yeah, there was a lot. And somebody had a really good point about, because we're talking about Wedding Crashers today, because it's in our summer movie showdown up against Anchorman. They're saying, it starts off amazingly strong. And it's, the first half of the movie, Wedding Crashers is definitely stronger than the first half of Anchorman. But Vince Vaughn movies have a tendency to peter out for whatever reason. Old School kind of did. And Wedding Crashers definitely did. And it's like, I don't know what it is with Vince Vaughn movies, but they need rewrites on the back end.
A lot of times it's comedies in general. They just have it's like a waka waka whoa towards like the ending. A lot of times the first hour of comedies are my favorite.
And it's been going on for a while. My dad always tells me like he loved the Monty Python ends horribly. Young Frankenstein, he would tell me, he'd be like, the ending is being part of a good end is horrible.
Caddyshack ends horribly. They fucking blow up and the ball goes in and they all. It's
it
terrible.
does. Yeah,
it's
no,
terrible
you're
ending.
right. Considering how good the movie was itself, absolutely. Show I already punted on, but if you care, Netflix is releasing the trailer for the upcoming season. Orange is the New Black. The ladies of Litchfield Penitentiary are now in maximum security. Because they had that riot, so now they all got placed in maximum. So debuts on July 27th, if you care. I will not be watching.
Are you caught up with Big Brother, Jay Bird?
I am caught up with Big Brother.
Last night, for me, I watched it last night. So Sundays got good.
Yeah, it's getting good.
It's getting good.
There's a girl that I can't stand on there already. I think she's very pretty, but the mystical girl, the life coach,
Caitlin?
the 23-year-old life coach.
Caitlin.
Yes.
I love her.
Oh,
okay. She is so awesome. She's in control of the house, and she is crazy. I mean, batshit crazy. I love her.
Have you ever met that person that claims to be so positive and so
spiritual?
They're always talking about how they're spiritual and how they namaste, Kevin. Like
namaste. They now really get the F out.
They really throw it in your face, and as soon as any kind of anything goes wrong, they fall fucking apart. Their emotions they're actually mean.
She's
and crazy.
She's jealous.
What's her name agagan?
Caitlyn.
Yeah, she's the one that got in trouble. She's the life coach. She sang the N-word.
Dropped an N-bomb.
Oh.
Yeah.
She sang,
When was that?
She, they always have that 24-hour feed. That's how all those people get in trouble. They just watch them for 24 hours, and one of them always says some shit that they don't even realize they've said.
Yeah, it's this whole thing that is going on now. I was reading this story about it. She's the 26-year-old life coach. She was singing the song 0 to 100 by Drake. And it's stop singing the verse that uses N real quick and did not say it. Somebody else that was singing along with her did that white guy pause. And she kept on singing and she sang the N-word. And so people are all upset. And some of the comments, former house guest Devon on Twitter said, "You don't get to sing it, you don't get to say it, you don't get to think it." So other fans are urging that she be removed from
They're not going to remove her.
game.
They're not going to. Don't they know what Big Brother is?
Because she's saying the N-word.
Big Brother is watching people for all day long, watching them make mistakes. They've already come out with a statement saying, "This is what Big Brother is. If you don't like it, basically,
Don't watch the
watch
feeds.
the show."
You won't hear the N-word in the broadcast show.
No, you won't.
But if you watch the live feeds, you're going to hear crazy stuff. So if you can't handle it, don't watch the live
Yeah,
feeds.
People are gonna fuck up. You're gonna go out into the world and people are going to make mistakes. Quit trying to stop people from making mistakes because it's never going to stop. You're never going to stop people from fucking up.
Yeah.
Don't kick crazy Caitlyn off this show because she is entertaining.
They're not gonna kick her off.
No, and they've said that. They said, look, it's a live feed and this stuff's gonna happen. It's like, okay.
I think don't say that word because
No.
what the fuck are you doing? Now, if someone sings that word, do I think automatically they are with 100% a racist? No, I do not. I think it's stupid that she said it. I think it's ignorant that she said it. Does that mean she's 100% a racist? I don't believe that.
Well,
She is 100% crazy.
I agree
and
with that.
I support that.
Well, I'm just saying, I think sometimes when if they sing a song, I think, you shouldn't do that. It's going to cause a lot of problems. And
It is. This is about the third story. What really got a lot of people was that Chris Brown song that he did, whatever it is, where he switches roles, whatever it is, Freaky Friday, that song. And there's two girls' college athletic teams that were on a bus. Somebody was making a video, and the girls were singing the song, and people, lost their mind. I mean, my comment is like, look, just realize it's out of bounds. If you're completely white, don't do it. But I guess my question is, and maybe somebody can answer this, is how does that break down? Because, and I think this is a great thing, in our society, you continue to see the lines of ethnicity blur, which I think is a beautiful thing. And I guess technically I'm in a mixed ethnic house. My wife's 50% Mexican. My kids are quarter Mexican. And so I love all that kind of thing. I just think that it would be awesome if we all had part white, part Spanish, part African-American, part Asian. It'd just be fantastic when we get to that point where we're all a little bit. So let's say, for instance, you're 50% black. Are you allowed to sing the N-word? If you're a quarter black, if you're an eighth black, if you have any kind of black and can trace it back
I think
4 generations ago, are you allowed to sing that song?
Well,
with the N-word in it. I'm just curious. This is just an honest question.
Yes.
Who gets that pass? Because that former housemate, was saying you're not allowed to sing it, you're not allowed to say it, you're not allowed to think it, the N-word.
I'm a quarter Mexican, and I tell Mexican jokes, and I laugh, and it makes people uncomfortable, but I don't care.
Well, with blended ethnicities, where does that all just start? Because people are walking around our society and singing it and saying it a lot.
I think if you have any black and you can sing it.
So
do you have to?
You don't
then,
have to be full.
If somebody calls you out, do you have to hey, do you have to put up that Ancestry.com card that you got? Like, hey, here you go. Here's my pass.
Well, okay, so back in the
I don't know
day,
about
I'm
that.
4% black.
back in the day when I was probably 16, I loved Dr. Dre.
Yeah.
I mean, I rocked The Chronic all the time, and I would sing along to every single word in the song, including the N-word. And that was back when I was younger. And now I can tell you right now, I'm not a racist. I don't have racism in my heart. As ignorant as that was, I didn't know that I was doing something that you see what I'm saying?
Sure.
And
and back then it was different too. It wasn't as harshly judged as it is today.
Not in my world.
I think a lot of white kids grew up singing rap and used that word.
I did.
And they were not racist.
No, I totally openly, honestly admit that, and that's
they
why
loved the music.
I still love Dr.
lived
Dre.
it.
I still love that album.
Yeah.
So, but I would hate for someone to come back when I was 16 or 17 and see. Let's say there was footage of me singing a Dr. Dre song. Here I'm thinking I'm just singing a song.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, I go to social media and now I'm dubbed a racist. That would crush me because I know that I'm not.
Well, my take on it, I understand my standing as a pretty Caucasian dude that I don't get to make the rules on this.
You're
but
the whitest guy we know.
Absolutely. So I realize that I'm not the guy who can dictate anything about
Sure.
this. But to me, racism is always about intent. And racism is trying to keep somebody down, being negative, despondent on somebody simply because of the color of their skin. To me, singing a song with the N-word, it'd be nice to see if we're in a place, if we're all going to be able to use that word, and I think it's a despicable word, and I wouldn't use it out of concept anyway, but if other people are going to keep putting it in songs and it's going to be all over the show power, which it is, and that's going to be something that gets thrown out there a lot as a term of endearment and all that kind of stuff, then if you are using it as a term of endearment, then that section of the public who cares to ever use that word, then I think if you're not coming from that, then you should be able to, because I think it is going to be tricky, especially when you're talking about blended ethnicities, and that's going to be tough. So is it going to be somebody, because there are a lot of shades of skin tones, even amongst ethnicities. And you say, you're not quite black enough to be able to use that word. Yeah, but I'm 100% African-American. Well, yeah, but you got lighter skin. So that's just kind of where I'm curious. How does that all fall? It's a slippery slope, I think, of the PC police to try to enforce.
I mean, nowadays, I just don't say it because
I agree.
Because it causes way too much pain.
I agree.
And it causes so much separation with everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, anytime you start saying anything, you can say this, but you can't. I don't care whatever time or era you're living in.
I agree with you.
As soon as you say you can't do that, people are going to be like, well, what the fuck?
But, you've got hip-hop artists, actors, black celebrities have said, look, we've reclaimed the word, we've spun it, and now it's a term that we use to identify each other and we use for endearment. And it's going to be in our TV shows and movies and our music and all that kind of stuff. And then, piggybacking right on that is that cultural appropriation thing. So,
well, someone says, okay, I see your point, but it's the artists expressing themselves and it doesn't give everybody else ownership over it. See, that's where I start to...
What does that mean?
That means that the artist wrote it from their perspectives. That means they own that. But when you start talking about downloading music and people now are buying music from you, in a sense, they own a part of that too. I get the artistic part of it,
yeah.
But once you start giving it out to the world for the world to have it, it's not just
you don't release it.
It's not just yours anymore. It's your personal feelings, but it's not completely yours. Now it's in the culture.
Yeah, songs, stories, phrases from the dawn of man have always been passed down and replicated. It's just something they do. That's how actually, ancient texts have survived. They weren't writing stuff down originally. They were just passing it on by story.
Billy Joel songs.
Repeating.
I have ownership to moments from Billy Joel songs that I purchased. That's part of my life. It's part of my culture.
Yeah. Yeah, it's one of them slippery slopes that is happening right now.
I just wish we could have a conversation about this without...
We can. I'm having it right now.
No, me and you can. Yeah. Virginia can.
Yeah, I will continue to talk about it. That's it's just one of them things. I'm not gonna, because people are trying to make you feel so guilty about everything you freaking say that you can't talk about anything, and that I think is the worst thing in our society.
I'm half Italian. I feel guilty about everything.
Yeah,
that's offensive.
Yeah, we just I think honestly we need to all start having conversations, come with from a place of love and acceptance, and then start talking about what's going on and our feelings, and
my
make it all good.
Sometimes people just rock out to a song and sing the song, and that's all it is. That's my only point.
Yeah. So, and I do understand there is so much unfortunate racism that still exists in the world. Not just in America. It happens all across the world. That hopefully that we can somehow get rid of this.
Oh yeah, no, the chats are going crazy.
It's all good. One says, white people have always made the rules. They created the derogatory term. There's a big difference between the N-bomb and the ending in ER and ending in an A. Black enough doesn't make sense, Kevin. That's the stupidest shit you ever said. I agree to disagree. People are always racist against my husband, and he's not racist. Okay.
Basically, you're a dick?
I don't know. I kind of disagree on
I don't know if I'm a dick.
Yeah, I mean, you can say it's the stupidest shit I ever said. Well, then just explain it to me.
Well, wait till tomorrow. We're going to bring some really stupid shit.
Yeah, exactly. White people cannot use the N-word. That's it. No questions asked. Just like we shouldn't call white people cracker, and no one better call me a spick or a Mexican derogatory term.
Yeah, I would never call any. I would never call anybody any of those names, nor have I in my life.
And I'm not petitioning for the right to use it. I don't want to. I never would. It's not something that I enjoy saying. But I guess, just my question is from a cultural standpoint, because it is happening. It's what point and how much of that ethnic blood do you have to have before it is okay for you to use it? And I think that we're probably very soon, and the next generation or two at least, you're going to get to the point where people are like going, look, I'm a quarter, 15%. That's what I'm saying.
I got so much.
So I get to use it.
Well, in a few years, our children's children, everybody's going to be, right. I'm a quarter of this, I'm half this.
And if that's stupid, explain to me how that's stupid. Just don't call me stupid, because people want to say what I said was stupid.
They want to make you feel like you are like you said something wrong, and you've got malice in your heart, and you don't. You know what I mean? You're asking questions.
I'm asking a question because I want to know.
Yeah.
Nope, you're stupid.
Well, the reason why people are afraid to have these conversations is because they're afraid they're going to be called racist.
Well, because someone yells at you and calls you stupid.
And it's so easy to say you're this or you're that, or it's so easy to call somebody something just to shut them down when you're nothing of the sort.
Mm-hmm. They're saying, I'm talking about not being black enough. That's stupid. Well, tell me how that's stupid, because my question, here's the question. Just answer it for me. Can somebody answer it for me? Do you not understand what my question is?
We're all going to be
at what percentage
fractionally.
Of ethnicity? Yes, that is the question. Just answer. Just stop saying that the question's fucking stupid. Just answer the question.
Our kids and their kids are going to be a melting pot, and no one's going to be anything. No one's going to be all black or all white or all Asian or all Hispanic, or we're all going to be everything. So when do we get mad?
That's exactly what my question is. And I'm just asking because I'm curious. I think we should be allowed to be curious without saying you're awful or that's whatever. It's like, just let's answer the question. It's a question of curiosity that I have. But too often people are like, oh, I'm afraid I can't ask that because people are going to.
Because someone called me stupid.
Well, I was afraid to even talk about me saying that I listened to Dr. Dre and that back in the day I used to sing to every word. I was kind of apprehensive about telling that, and I said no because I know it's in my heart, and that's part of the discussion here.
Oddly enough, it seemed like racism has gone backwards in this country.
I agree.
And that's the problem. And I think that, we need to say, hey, let's pump the brakes, and we need to keep driving in a positive direction.
Yes.
And fixing race problems in this country. So let's start having these conversations, and let's just try to say, look, here's a standard we need to live by. You need to love and respect everyone.
Everybody.
That's it. Regardless of
ELE,
skin color, hair color, eye color.
Yes.
That's just basically it. And if you come from that place, then it'll solve a lot of problems.
Oh, my God.
We love everybody except Rob Schneider. Now, let's just make that little addendum.
The funny thing is, I actually did like Rob Schneider until
not allowed
until that moment. I did.
You have to hate him now.
I'd love to squash him.
So anyway, maybe somebody can answer that for me.
Nope, Kevin, here, I got an answer. Kevin's the biggest dick face ever.
Well, we know that.
New hair, my ass.
You have new hair on your ass?
Can you get new hair on your ass?
Absolutely. I think as you get older.
No, I'm saying, can you get it implanted in your ass? Like if you wanted to get.
Oh, that's a good question.
I know, but believe me, I know you get hair on your ass as you get older.
Have you seen Grandpa's ass?
Mm-hmm. Let's see here. We got Caitlin, who said, I'm behind on the podcast. I was listening to the coffee bit. If you have a French press or make cold brew, add about 1/8 of a teaspoon of salt per cup or so of grounds. The salt removes the acidity and drastically improves the taste. Without the salt, I need to add creamer to make it enjoyable, but I can drink it black with the salt I found this tip on Alton Brown's Good Eats, and I've used it since. Did Jaybird ever find someone to draw his tattoo? Figuring he has, but if he still needs an artist, I can draw something up for him.
Thank you. It's very kind of you. I did just, the girl that did my cardinal tattoo for my mom is doing the butterfly. She did the butterfly. Now I just have to go with Joyce's son to go get the tattoo together now. But I needed the artwork first.
How much do I got to pay this girl to put a little something extra on there?
Like what? A butterfly with a big dick or something? Because that's a great memorial tribute.
I really want you to get a different one too, like a little tramp stamp.
Well, that'll be when you
Kevin's face.
When you pass away, I will put you right on my back.
Tramp stamp. Yeah. How awesome would that be if you came in here with a Kevin face tramp stamp?
That'd be pretty impressive.
I agree. I agree.
Ashley said, hey, hoping you can weigh in on this. What are your thoughts on the effort that a kid needs to put in if they want to be in a competitive sport? Our daughter, who turns 11 this month, has been in competitive cheer for 2 years. She wants to possibly continue in competitive dance as well, but puts in zero effort at home. She's supposed to be doing some sort of workouts and conditioning at home, and she never wants to put in the effort. We are questioning whether we should keep shelling out thousands of dollars per season if she's not putting in the work at home. But on the other hand, we understand she's only a kid, so are we expecting too much? What are your thoughts, Ashley? Gosh, that is a great question.
That's for you because you've been through it.
Gosh, I could have written this email to myself when my daughter was 11. And we did the softball. And it is insane how much money you will spend, and especially as they get a little bit older. I couldn't believe it. My daughter started playing softball at the age of 9. At around 11, you started really traveling the state. The equipment cost ridiculous amounts. I'm sure every sport has their own thing where you're going, what? That costs how much? My daughter got to the place in high school where they were freaking playing these tournaments in Colorado and New Jersey, Atlanta. She went to Italy to play freaking softball. And I think the question you got to ask yourself is, what is your motive for doing it? So often parents are doing this thinking they're going to get this scholarship and this is going to save them tons of money. It's the only way their kid's going to get to college. Now, I will tell you that if that is your main reason for doing it, take the money, put it into a bank account that yields pretty good return, and you're going to pay for your college education that way over what you're going to spend on everything else. Kids are going to be kids. And I coached, so I got to even see this firsthand. And you can see less than 1% of your players and anybody in any sport is going to achieve a higher level. I had a girl that was, first of all, a physical phenom. She was just physically gifted. She could throw a football at the age of 12, 40 yards, which a lot of men can't even do. I would coach her, and she would be at the third baseline, and she's like, hit the ball harder, hit the ball harder. I'm like going, I'm going to kill you. She's like going, no. She looked like a freaking like spider out there. She had an ability that was above and beyond, and I could see that about 2 or 3 of my players. Those 3 players are now playing Division I softball. The rest of them, God bless them, you could see didn't have the physical abilities, didn't have that kind of insane drive. And so that's the reality of it. It's only a few amount of kids that really probably need that kind of investment. You got to realize that, unfortunately and realistically, your kid's not going to be that. But softball was great for my daughter because it gave her something to do. She wasn't running the streets doing things I didn't approve of. The recreation of it was fantastic. It taught her discipline. I'm glad that we invested the time and the money that we did, because to play at a certain level, you do have to invest that, but do it for the right reasons. I'm happy we did. It got her to college. I don't think she would have wound up in college otherwise.
Anytime you can play sports with other people, or any activity where you are just working with a team and learning different personalities, it's so good for you. It makes you well-rounded. Everything that I did from baseball, I wouldn't change. I mean, I wasn't very good. I barely played in college, but I wouldn't change any of that because I met unbelievable people and had unbelievable experiences.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You can't put a price on that.
And so, you've got to understand what your family budget is. I would not do anything to put you in dire straits. And there are things that you can start to pick and choose from. There are sometimes these showcase camps and things like that cost a good bit of money that are sometimes at colleges. And if you can see that your kid is not to that level where somebody's going to really be like, wow, that kid's a phenom, I need to pull them aside, you got to realize, and there are a lot of different colleges. My daughter went to Division II to play softball. She wasn't a Division I quality player.
Gotcha.
So, I mean, that is
Is there
part
a
of it as
Division
well.
3?
There is.
There is, yeah. There's even D3.
Kind of shitty competition though.
Yeah, but for my daughter, it still would have been worthwhile because she hates school, and it would have gotten her into school, which maybe we wanted to see. That might have been the best option for them. So you just have to really keep it in perspective, and same thing with the expenses. And somebody put in the chat room that hey, not everybody can afford all this travel stuff. And you're right. I've seen it break the bank of some families. Not a lot can afford it. And to tell you the truth, there are a lot of professional players that come from no money. And because they're that good, you can become a phenom with no money. I can name 20 players that come out of the Glades that had nothing. And they run up and down the dikes. They chase chickens and rabbits through the sugar cane. And that's how they work on their dexterity and all that kind of stuff. And they come from zero money, zero travel, and they're playing. You look at a lot of South American kids and Cubans, Puerto Ricans that don't have money. They're phenomenal baseball players from the Dominican, and they were playing with a stick and a rock. Now they're playing in the major leagues.
That's not even a joke. Like they literally will play with a stick and a rock.
Yeah.
I mean, try hitting a rock than try hitting a baseball. Baseball, a lot easier to hit than a rock.
It would seem.
Yeah.
So, to me, I would just recommend, I'd say, look at it as an investment. And how much do you really realistically have to invest? If you can do a league that is downgraded depending upon your daughter's skill level or whatever. And we also got to the point, too, where with my daughter, if she wanted the newest equipment or whatever, she had to save up and get it. So it also teaches her discipline and, she would get a little bit of money from grandma, birthday money, Christmas money, stuff like that. We stopped just laying out, here's the brand new bat. It's like, no, if you want that glove, if you want that bat, then you're going to save up for it and get it.
I always had shitty equipment. In fact, my first year of baseball, I wore blue jeans instead of baseball pants. And yeah, people made fun of me. It was not good.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're really, really good, if you're awesome and you don't have any money, someone's going to find you a way. If you can help a team, someone's going to get your ass on that team.
Yeah. And like I said, it is a rare breed of that. And you can, if you're a coach, you can see them pretty quick. They just are a different cut.
Sparkle.
Yeah. I often tell that story. I grew up with the one girl, my family was close with her, that wound up playing in the WNBA. She's the head coach for the WNBA team in New York City right now. And she had two brothers that wound up playing college football. And they wanted everything that she was getting because the parents went to all of her games and gave her all the equipment. Like, going, we want what she gets. And like, going, she works a lot harder than you. And they said, if you do her workout for a month, then we will commit the same amount of funds and time to you guys. They both quit after 3 days because they couldn't do the same workout that she did. She was a freaking machine, and that you see that pretty quickly. You're really like LeBron James, freaking nature. He really is, physically and his mentality and everything else. He's a freak of nature. The Wilsons sent in an email. Jacoby, Chris, and Darren. They said, we listen to your show every day, and we've been listening for 11 years now. In particular, my son Darren and I love the No Name Movie Game, and we wait for it every Friday. So when I told Darren that you guys did a kids version, his jaw dropped. He's so sad he didn't get a chance to call in. Will you guys be doing another round with kids? He would even take Jaybird as a partner.
The charity pick.
I mean, the fucking side comments in this email are something else.
It's the best part.
Thank you all for what you do every day, bringing joy and laughter and truly caring about your audience. Yeah,
I'd love to play with the kid.
Yeah, I think we'll probably do another round. Say at least during the summertime, probably we'll do a round a month. So maybe
that's
we'll try
cool.
To squeeze in
Every week might be a little much.
Yeah, and there were a lot of people that even when we did it the first time and the only time, a lot of people were very upset.
The adults were. Denny said there was like a 45-year-old man having a fucking meltdown on the phone. I've been waiting so long to get on. I'm a 40-year-old man.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
I get it.
We should do that out live at our Kids World Family Fun Fest.
Wow, yeah. that was met with a lot of enthusiasm.
I had to think it through.
Never mind. You are a white dick.
The silence said
I had to think it through. I'm like going, okay, yeah.
I wasn't even listening to you. So.
Yeah. Somebody in the chat room is asking the question, who are the people on the island where they pump out the really big football players they usually come from? They play football on rock fields. Yeah, that's American Samoa. Have you ever seen or heard of Troy Polamalu?
Yeah.
He's played for the Steelers, the long-haired, did the head and shoulders.
Sure.
Came from that island. They've pumped out a lot of amazing football players, and kind of the same thing is they just, they've got nothing. It doesn't take any equipment.
I love that dude's hair, man.
Yeah,
I wish I could
was
do
phenomenal.
that.
They had a good run there for a while. They're cranking a lot of players through USC, and we're doing some good stuff. Let's see here. Got a email from Lynn. Said, hey, just wanted to take a minute to wish baby Rocco a happy birthday.
Oh, thank you.
Also wanted to thank you for your daily laughs on the ATS podcast. My coworker Lisa and I listen every day with our earbuds in. People must think we're crazy as we sit here in silence giggling. Got to say, it's a highlight of our day.
Aww.
It's awesome to hear your candid commentary without the radio regulations, especially when you have a few drinks during the podcast. Anyhow, thanks for being fucking awesome.
I'll spread your love to baby Rocco when I get home. He's home right now with the babysitter. He's playing. She's sleeping. That's cool.
Yeah, what's going on with your babysitter? She keeps on sleeping. Who's watching him when she's sleeping? Okay, I have a lot of questions. Who's taking the picture of the babysitter sleeping, and who's supposed to be watching the kid?
Maggie, my Magnolia, is upstairs, and she sleeps late. But when she wakes up, she takes a picture of the babysitter sleeping while Rocco's playing.
And no one's watching Rocco?
He's just playing.
You gotta get rid of her, V. You can't have.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. He's 3 years old. You have to have someone watching him all the time. You can't be fucking napping.
I know.
2 hours in? No, you can't nap. Sorry. I know you don't want to, but you either have to have a talk. You need to get Vicious V out there.
I know.
But you can't have her baby. You can't have her sleeping during babysitting.
I gotta talk with her and see. First of all, why is she sleeping?
How great though is Mags fucking on the slide taking
Mags is undercover Mags.
I love
Yeah.
it. Oh, she's probably like, Mom, look, she's sleeping
Sleuthing
again.
it.
That's
Yep.
so funny.
Because Mags wants the gig, I think, kind of. So Mags is pulling for these babysitters not to do well. But Mags is not ready. I'm telling you, the interaction between her and her brother is still very sibling, and it's still a little too contentious for me.
Yeah, you're right.
They have a sibling thing where they fight a little bit, and I don't want that. I want someone more adult. She's only 13. I just don't think she's ready. I'm sure there's some 13-year-olds that are ready to sit. She's not one of them just yet.
You know, you're in the situation. But
I thought you were going to ask your dad, Randy.
I will. He comes back from Texas today. Thank God.
Perfect.
Rats, if you are listening right now, my dad's coming back.
Can he take care of rats and toddlers?
My dad would. My dad's great. My dad nails it.
She said, hope to make it out to cocktails and karaoke sometime. And Jaybird, go fuck yourself.
Come on out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think, the next one's July 27th?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
In Boca.
I felt like we had a
Boca.
real live crowd this last time.
We did.
Everyone was into it.
It was fun, and then Suits got a bra on his head as he was singing. I mean, that's just good fun.
Yeah, we
It
had a
seems
good
like
time.
It elevates every week, and not because of us, but because of the people in the crowd that keep taking it to the next
Oh,
level.
I love loud crowds. You got to have that. Sometimes, you
Yeah,
know, he'll do
everybody's got a part.
He'll do something and like there's crickets. You're like, oh, come on, motherfuckers, cheer.
They threw a bra. I mean, that was awesome.
Yeah, it's great. That's the right crew.
Stepping it up.
And the back end of cocktails and karaoke is always the best. It's like the first half hour, it's a little quiet and slow.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know, maybe this isn't going to work tonight. And then by,
That's the drinking hour.
then by 8:30, it's just like, it's the whole house. Brawls on the head, and who knows what's going on. Jaybird popping off his kneecaps.
You're right. All of that was in toward like the last half hour of
It
the
was.
gig.
Yeah.
When the shots kick in.
That's exactly what happened.
Amanda said, hey, everybody, I moved away from Florida about 7 years ago to the Vancouver, Washington area. I listen to you every day, and even when I first moved here, I still listen, but I found a job outside my house, and I lost track for about 2 years, and I just found your podcast. I'm loving to get to listen to you again. Love your show, and y'all look fantastic.
Aww.
She said, also, it's 420 here,
What?
24/7.
It is.
Yeah. There you go. Love it. Got to put Amanda on the list as well. Vancouver, Washington.
Nice.
Good stuff. You got any comments for us? Any questions? Anything you want brought up on the after the show? You can send us an email. mail@kvjshow.com. You guys have an amazing day. We'll talk to y'all later. Goodbye.
Cleveland Clinic, Florida provides individualized treatment plans for excellent outcomes of health problems ranging from the most common to the most complex, even in cases considered untreatable by others. Cleveland Clinic, Florida. Every life deserves world-class care.